think I was about 14 when I first picked up a guitar. It was an old acoustic with nylon strings given to me by a family friend. We happened to be over there having dinner, just as a family barbecue, and it was just sitting in the corner of the lounge room, and I had a bit of an interest in guitar at that time because people were learning to play it at school, and I'd wander by and see them sitting there at lunch playing, and I was like, oh right, I could see myself doing that. And but yeah, this old beat up acoustic guitar, I think it was a $5 one from the tip shop. Before that, was sitting in the lounge room there, and I just found myself sitting there playing it. And one thing I noticed that I could do that I don't think everybody could do is I could think of a tune in my mind, and even though I'd never really played the guitar before, I kind of started to work it out fairly quickly. I think I could work out single note melodies very quickly, and it's just not something I'd really done before. But now when I think back to it, prior to that in primary school, I think I was one of the only kids in music class that would forever want to go over to the piano and just muck about, or if there was a piano at somebody's house, I was always over there. I was spending a lot of my time over there playing it, but it never clicked at the time that was an interest. It was just, you know, something off to the side that I think I've always been creative. And of course from there, you know, started playing in school bands as a young teen, you know, in the punk rock scene, as seemed to be the way at the time. But I always had these classic influences thanks to my dad, particularly the Beatles. The Beatles have always been a big thing for me. Again, bands like the Beach Boys as well. Always been an interest. Even though I delved into lots of different genres, I always would go back to those original bands that my dad showed me when I was a kid, like the Doors. And a lot of late 70s new wave, like B-52s. Dad's got a lot of vinyls that he's given to me. I shared something the other week. Just the great stuff. And not to say there's not some awesome stuff that's come out since. There's excellent stuff to look for if you know where to find it. You've got to not be lazy now, because it's not pushed out there. You've got to really dig deep a lot of the time. But anyway, yeah, I sort of would play in school bands, but then there was this other side where I was at home with an acoustic guitar. I put the electric guitar away and get the acoustic guitar out, and have a Casio keyboard, and I actually had a cheap computer microphone. I don't know if you remember the microphones that you'd talk into with the headset for chat rooms in the 90s, apparently. But that was just kicking around at home in a drawer, so I got that out and plugged it into the computer and found that I could actually utilize that via the freeware Audacity, which I used that for years until I eventually moved on to Reaper. But Audacity was where it started for me, because I could actually overdub all the different sounds together, and I found that I could start with the guitar and then play some keyboard in there, add some vocals. Then after a while I somehow taught myself to harmonize, so I'd be doing 3 or 4 part harmonies. That came into it after a while, so everything kind of just fell into place like that for me naturally. So, and I've been told that it's having an ear for music, which is an advantage which a lot of musicians have, where they can just pick things up just like that. So I've been very fortunate that that's happened with me. So it's probably helped me more than anything. I don't read music. I've never really been interested to learn, so everything I do is just purely by ear and by feel, and all driven by the passion, the original passion from when I saw that acoustic just sitting off the side of the lounge room there, and just wanted to go and pick it up and have a good play at it.